All right, the last thing that we're going to do in this section is without graphing, we're going to determine the domain of a logarithmic function. Now, if you go back and look at all the graphs that we've done of our basic logarithmic functions, they all have a domain starting at 0 to infinity. And then when we transform them, that changes the domain. So what that means is I cannot take the logarithm of a negative number. Okay, so for instance, this is just an aside. When I go log base 2, if I put a negative 5 here, there is no power of 2. I cannot raise 2 to any power that is going to produce a negative number. That can't happen. So we cannot take the logarithm of a negative. So what that means is this: when you're asked to find the domain of a logarithm, all you do is you take this part that represents what we're taking the log of, okay, and you're going to take that part, and it has to be bigger than 0. Okay? It's never going to be equal to 0. It's never going to be negative. This is the mathematical way to write that the x plus 5 has to be a positive value. In this case, I subtract 5 from both sides, and I get x has to be bigger than negative 5. Interval notation: if all of my values are bigger than negative 5, that means negative 5 is the lower limit, infinity is the upper limit, and we'll use parentheses on both sides because I'm not interested in the point of equality. So just take a moment, pause your video, and find the domain of this logarithm. It's a natural logarithm. The base doesn't matter in this particular discussion. You always do the same thing. All right, now that you're back, hopefully here's what you did. You said, okay, 2 minus 5x, whatever that is, it has to be bigger than 0, because that's the only type of thing I can take the logarithm of. So I'm going to subtract the 2 from both sides. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 5. And always remember, when you divide both sides of an inequality by a negative, you've got to flip the sign. Negative 2 over negative 5 becomes 2/5. And so the domain is all the values less than 2/5, and an interval notation that is negative infinity to 2/5 with a parenthesis on that side. Good luck.